And this is the shoe now in my rotation. I'm testing a lot of good shoes, and this is the shoe that I want to reach for over anything else, and that is including. So a couple runs done and dusted in this one now. Now this is the brand new ASICS Noosa Tri 16, and these are my first impressions. But before we get into it, and if you guys want to support this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So straight into the quick specs. Now this one coming in at a great price point. Good to see that the price hasn't moved. $220 here in Australia, $130 in the US. Now in the weight, an amazingly light package here again. ASICS website states that in the men's size 9, it's 8.2 ounces or 233 grams. Now in my size, which is just a half size under that, I'm coming in at 7.4 ounces or 211 grams, which is absolutely amazing. Now in the stack here, we have got 34 in the rear, 29 in the front, and that's going to give us a 5mm drop. And so in the upper here, we have got a engineered mesh, which is extremely breathable, and it's that type of mesh that you know that doesn't carry water, which is just what you want in your shoe that's designed for triathlons. Now we've got a pretty solid heel counter here, and we've got a bit of a new heel tab here on the back. They used to have the Achilles flare, but they've gone away with that. Now in the heel collar as well, we've got, I'm going to say it's a plush amount of padding around here. It's a lot of padding, especially for such a lightweight shoe. Obviously really, really nice. There's no padding on the tongue whatsoever. They've modified the tongue as well. It's a new material. It's more of like a wetsuit material now, and it's quite a low cut tongue. They've got some padding either side of the tongue as well, just to take that laces pressure off. It's a gusseted tongue, so it's not going anywhere. Lacing system, very similar to last year, or it's exactly the same from looking at both shoes. But again, no dramas with the shoes coming undone. What you don't get with this model, I didn't get the toggle laces with this one, because I know you got the alternatives of some toggle laces in the previous versions. Now, the fit in this shoe is true to size in the length. I knew last year you needed to go up half a size because it was a bit short. I think they've fixed that this year, so I'm going to go true to size. The width is about normal. Build quality is excellent, and if I didn't cover it before, the lockdown in this shoe, no dramas whatsoever. And so in our outsole here, great upgrade again is what I love to see. They've put the ASICS grip rubber on this shoe. So this ASICS grip, it is absolutely amazing. So it's pretty much, it is a market leader in my opinion. It's up there, the same amount as Puma grip. It doesn't falter in any conditions. So they've got quite a bit of rubber coverage on this shoe, which is quite surprising, again, just because of how light the shoe is. But yeah, as you can see there, all pretty much the forefoot, and then it just goes down in these two sides, or on each side of the shoe, and down into the high wear areas at the bottom there. But as I said before, crazy grippy. This just ASICS grip is amazing. Now what they've also got, they've got a bit of a groove here in the midfoot there, so that's just gonna obviously add to the ride a little bit. But overall, no dramas here with this outsole, love it. And in our midsole here, so pretty simple design, so just a whole slab of FF Blast midsole foam, which is really nice. We've got no plate in the shoe, so obviously this shoe is quite flexible, as you can see there. And now the geometry of this shoe, so the Noosa is known for it's quite rocket geometry, and this one is no different. So I'm not sure if they've tweaked the geometry, but it still feels quite rocket to me. And it's quite an early stage rocker that actually gets quite aggressive right at the end. So you actually feel the roll from quite far back in the foot, which I really like. And in the ride, well, first word that's coming to mind is effortless. So this is probably the most easy shoe to run in that I have tried for a very, very long time. So it's got nothing to do with the foam though, because the foam it's pretty much in this shoe, like it's pretty uninspiring. There's not a lot of bounce, there's not a lot of spring or energy return. The magic, as I said before, in this shoe is always in the geometry. And I'm sure that this rocker is just made for my foot strike, because it just feels amazing. So it's really smooth, it's really effortless, it feels great at any pace for me. So it doesn't feel like that I'm ever overly sinking into the foam, and it doesn't feel like that it's too mushy. However, it doesn't feel too hard as well. In the softness department, I'm going to say it's slightly softer than last year's version. However, it's probably a little bit firmer than the previous version. So it's firmer than the 14 and it's softer than the 15. So it sits in between those two shoes. And other shoes on the market that are probably in this sort of same category. So the Hoka Max 6, that one is a softer foam than this one. But this one is probably softer than the Boston 12. I guess by the price, you're not going to expect too much wow factor with this sort of shoe. However, it is a really enjoyable shoe for me. But yeah, just so rocket, just so effortless. As I said, it feels great at all paces. It's not overly cushioned. It's not unstable at all as well, so it's quite stable. But yeah, it's just rocket. So no matter how fast I'm running, I'm always getting on the rocker and it's always just turning my legs over effortlessly. So likes in this shoe, so there's a lot here. So I love the price point, I love the really lightweight, I love the new outsole, and I absolutely love the ride. And what I'm still figuring out this shoe is just the new design of the tongue. So what I didn't mention before, it's got this really big hole that they've cut out in the middle of it. I'm not sure what that's for. It's obviously got something to do with triathlon. Maybe it helps to get your foot in the shoe when you've got a wet foot with no socks on. Maybe it's there to, I don't know, put more breathability. Maybe it's to dry your foot out. I'm not sure. So still figuring the design of the tongue out. Not sure if I like it more than the previous versions. And dislikes in this shoe, absolutely nothing. So just wrapping up my initial thoughts about the Noosa. So if you haven't guessed it already, really getting along with this shoe. I absolutely love the ride. As I said, it feels like this geometry has just been made for my foot strike. So I wish I could take this geometry and put it in all my shoes, all the shoes that I test, because I'd be a super happy camper. But I know that's not the case. And I know that everyone is probably not going to get along with the geometry because it's geometry is a bit hit and miss for most people. But for me, this is amazing. So as I said, it's probably the most easy shoe to run in that I've pretty much ever tested, or certainly that I can remember. So I'm enjoying this ride more than the previous two versions of the Noosa. And this is the shoe now in my rotation. I'm testing a lot of good shoes, and this is the shoe that I want to reach for over anything else. And that is including the new Super Blast, which is actually saying something. So it's got no bells and whistles, no magic foam, no wow factor about it. It's just all got to do with the geometry and the feedback of the ride. So again, a super versatile shoe for me. Can handle pretty much any pace that you throw at it. It's going to be able to, I'm able to run in this one all day, so I'm going to tick it off for a long run. Easy days and your workouts, I'd be totally happy to run in this shoe. This is a shoe that you can, if you're going away for the weekend, throw it in your bag. It's not going to weigh hardly anything, not going to weigh your suitcase down, and it's going to be able to tackle all your runs while you're away on holidays or a business trip. So anyway, guys, that is it for me. Those are my first impressions, and really looking forward to lots more Ks in this. The Ks are going to build up in this one super fast, so a full review will be out very, very soon. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Any questions you've got with this shoe or how it relates to anything else, just drop it in the comments below. And again, thanks for watching. Make sure you give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.